Hi everybody, Chris here from Truly Holistic. Now, what I want to talk about in this video is something that I was dowsing on today and I'm finding a lot more, and I have done a previous video in regards to the whole idea of fermentation process in the body. And I'm finding that, a lot of really chronic problems, whether that's, we could look at allergies or asthma, respiratory system problems, digestive system problems, is based about around this whole fermentation idea in regards to accumulation of mold, yeast, fungus, pathogenic bacteria in the body. Okay, and while I was working on somebody today working on the fermentation process that was within their entire digestive system. Okay, that they were losing weight, and they couldn't digest or break down any nutrition. They're having issues with the pancreas in regards to the pancreas providing enough enzymes. As the pancreas, it's got a couple of really important roles, and that's what producing the hormone insulin, but also enzymes to help with breaking down food and those sorts of things that get secreted in the small intestine. So, and while we were working on it, it wasn't relevant to this particular client, but it came up that I just asked the question that to my channel, that I'm finding this a lot. Is this a regular problem for the majority of people? This whole mold epidemic, and it said yes. And then what I actually said, that cancer or mold/cancer is a problem. I was like, what do you mean by that? And my channel said straight away that cancer is a mold problem. So I've never had that come out to me, because we work with people that have cancer problems here at Truly Holistic, and obviously one thing that cancer does is really produces your immune system to work properly. Okay, and therefore you're susceptible to other infection. Okay, or infection lowering the vibration of your immune system, and then cancer kind of create the mutation of cellular replication, which we call cancer, happening in the body. Now, what I'm finding that suppresses your body a lot of the times creates an environment, more importantly, because this is a colony problem in the body. If we look at the body, because the body's made up of more cells from bacteria than your own cells. Okay, so you're a farmer of a lot of strains of bacteria, yeast, mold, fungus, all these sorts of things. It's about keeping it in check, but if you don't keep it in check, then we have a colony problem, and then all of a sudden you have it creates fermentation, but a bad form of fermentation. And then all of a sudden, we have these things just replicating like crazy: mold, fungus, yeast, pathogenic bacteria. And then we have a problem which can lead then to cancer. So very interesting that came up. Now, so it is a colony problem, and we hear the emphasis, we hear so much about how important it is that we eat fermented foods. Okay, we get friendly bacteria to create a clean colony or microbiota within the body to keep the environment in the body clean. Okay, and we don't hear so much about what about the fermentation that's going to increase proliferation of bad bacteria, yeast, mold, fungus, and those sorts of things. And I've really been focusing on that a lot. This Truly Holistic system is a very open-minded system, and it's going down the rabbit hole to find what is the core or the cause of why the certain people are getting infections all the time, why they've got these really chronic health problems. And a core of it is the fermentation process in itself. And we hear with a lot of problems like mold, fungus, and these sorts of things, candida, is sugar's a real problem, and a majority of the time it's directed towards more the processed sugars, and that's because a lot of that sugar is also non-compatible to the body. Okay, it's sweet, okay, and it introduces too much sugar into our blood, but more importantly, it's also in a form of sugar that the body doesn't know what to do with it. It's foreign, right? And that sugar will just sit there, and then that just putrefies, and then it creates a fermentation process of the sugar, and that is the vital component of that's causing so much problem. It's not only the sugar, it's the fermentation of it, and then it's just a magnet for all the stuff that we don't want it to proliferate and increase in our body. The molds, the yeast, the funguses, the pathogenic bacteria. And another thing, when your body, let's say your digestive system, but it could be a number of areas of the body, that for people that have got MS or dementia or a lot of the issues in regards to your nervous system, that could be mold build up within the brain. Okay, pituitary gland, certain areas of the brain, the nervous system having fermentation process in it, mold, fungus, yeast, all these sorts of things that are growing within that then cause those areas of your body to just break down. Okay, and so I'm finding that too. So an important thing is getting the minerals on board, okay? Because the key to the minerals and spectrum of minerals is that just like a spectrum of light frequency, the body is needing that to have like tools in their tool belt to go ahead and do their job properly. One thing that what happens when you get build up of mold, fungus, yeast, and all these sorts of things from that fermentation process, it overtakes your body, okay? And what those things have in common is they're really parasitic in nature. They'll just take all the nutrition for themselves, or you won't be able to break down the nutrition when you're eating food, or your body's not in a place to handle it. Then you become deficient in a number of minerals, a number of vitamins, and so therefore it's not a thing. It's not a matter of what vitamins, what nutrients, what food I need to eat, because sometimes the body will not break it down anyway. So again, it comes down to compatibility. And what I'm finding, the best mineral supplement is concentrated mineral drops. I just love these mineral drops. And what I'm finding is, okay, what's the number one thing in your body you need the most is water, right? We all need laughter, we need positive thinking, which is vital as well. But the water component is vital because the water is a universal solvent. It's important for the body, water, not just from a hydration level, but to clean house out, so to speak. And you want it structured, and that's where the geometry tools come into it. But you also you can use that water as a carrier of great nutrition, okay, and also compatible nutrition, okay. So if your body is being through such an ordeal for so long because of mold, congestion, fungus, yeast, pathogenic bacteria, for chronic conditions, you've got a chronic digestive system, which is an inflammatory condition or autoimmune condition of the digestive system, say Crohn's disease, say ulcerative colitis, then you're very compromised with what you can break down and digest, okay? And at that time, usually people are deficient in minerals. So how do we get those minerals on board? We give them a form of minerals that's soluble and ionic. Your body does not have to break down whatsoever. This will actually go straight into the wall of the membrane of your mouth or your throat, and actually probably won't even hit the stomach. It will go straight through that and into the bloodstream. And definitely if you couple it with structured water, that is. If you don't have structured water, then quite a lot of the time it will sit in your tummy. I'm pretty sure people know that feeling of you drink this water and you're walking around or running around, and it feels like you can feel that splashing in your stomach like you're a hot water bottle. That is a good sign that water is not compatible to you. Same with food. Food will just sit in the stomach for a long time because the body's using all its stomach acids, and that's only if your stomach's working properly. To break that stuff down, because usually the problem with your stomach, if we go impairment there, is not because of too much stomach acid, but not enough. Okay, it's actually the opposite. And you need those minerals. You need the minerals, and because this is a way of getting well and getting health, get the weight back on, making sure that you don't have mineral and vitamin deficiencies. And what I'm finding that is another big part of this is that your friendly bacteria, okay, they are very smart, okay. Your body is very intelligent, okay. You need to give it what it needs. You need to give it more tools up its disposal to then do a proper job, okay. And what they need is a spectrum of minerals, okay. And if you can give them a spectrum of minerals that is very compatible to you, so ionic and soluble, where you don't have to impend more energy to break it down, because your body's got enough stuff to deal with already, then it will do a job for you. It will transmute any mineral if you give it enough of it, of the full spectrum of minerals, to make whatever you need, whatever mineral deficiency you need, what vitamin deficiency you ever need. I've even found like that if you give the body enough minerals, it will create even vitamin D, and this is the sunshine vitamin. Okay, we do find it in places of food, but in smaller quantities. But what I'm coming to notice is that it's again the connection of this full spectrum. It's very much in line with, as our energy body, we need a full spectrum. Okay, and that's why we call our true self, our energy body self, out of this reality, multi-dimensional, because it has a full spectrum of the vibration and frequency of it. Okay, and just like that energy body, we want the full vibration and frequency, but in a nutritional form. Okay, and that is nutrients, that is minerals. Okay, that's why vitamin B1 is different to vitamin B2. It has a different signature vibrational frequency to it. So, this is a fantastic product. This is the only supplement I take. Other than that, I use geometry tools, and when I dowse, I find no nutritional deficiencies. I find no vitamin deficiencies, and a big part of that, why that's that way, obviously creating structure within the body using the geometry tools, but more importantly, full spectrum of minerals, and in a bioavailable form, ionic soluble. So I do sell this on my website, but you can find it elsewhere. Concentrated mineral drops originally comes from Anderson's concentration mineral drops, but a lot of companies do that now using the same process, and they use an evaporation process from like a salt water lake source, which they use that evaporates majority of the sodium off, and a lot of them are very high also in magnesium. And magnesium, majority of people are deficient in magnesium. Our topsoil's depleted of magnesium. Magnesium is vital for a number of things because calcium buildup is such a problem, or the majority of problems, and they are the polarity is the magnesium calcium. Magnesium keeps calcium in check. If you're deficient in magnesium, then calcium causes a lot of issues, especially insoluble inorganic calcium that we cannot break down. So, but even though it has the magnesium in there as well, the importance of it is it's a full spectrum of minerals. Okay, it's just like saying I'm going to get vitamin C from an orange compared to I'm going to take ascorbic acid. And vitamin C in an orange has got all the cofactors with it. It's got the spectrum of all the things that are connected and help the vitamin C compound, which is ascorbic acid, if we kind of extract that in a lab form. But you got to remember, a lot of vitamin C's ascorbic acids are all synthetically made in the lab instead of that don't have all the cofactors with it, the bioflavonoids and those sorts of things. So again, it's that view of we need to have a full spectrum of stuff, and that's going to nourish the body a lot more. It's going to help with your colonies as well, your friendly bacteria colonies, because they're going to be armed with serious tools all of a sudden, and making sure that yeast, molds, funguses, pathogenic bacteria all kept in check, that you never get to the point where you're going to have a chronic health problem like MS, all the autoimmune conditions, cancer and stuff like that. If you have one of those problems now, well, definitely book an appointment with me and we can look at removing the fermentation process, because if you've got a bad fermentation process happening in the body, it's going to be very hard for you to reverse that just by taking probiotics and stuff like that. It's more effective if we remove the bad fermentation out, we clear up all the mold, the fungus, the yeast build up in the body, and then you can start replenishing that digestive system with friendly bacteria, the right fermented foods, getting soluble ionic forms of minerals into the body to create better nutrition for the body, equipping your immune system, which really 80-90% of your immune system is your friendly bacteria colonies, with the tools they need to do the job properly. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear your comments in regards to this matter as well. Remember, book an appointment. Go to trulyholistic.net and go and book an appointment, or a 3-session bundle, which is at a $30 discount. Especially if you've got a chronic problem, I would recommend starting with the 3-session bundle instead of one, and then you get that discount with it, and you're not walking away feeling defeated and thinking, well, I couldn't sort my health problem within one session. I've got to remember, a lot of those chronic health problems have been there for a long time. It's going to be a bit of a journey coming out of it, but all my sessions are not based on just doing clearings. It's also very informative, and I'm giving you a lot of information for you to take and be empowered with to also continue that healing journey for yourself. Thank you.